Going live. All right. Broadcast is live. It says it.
We are live. Hi, everybody. Hi, everybody on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitch. Is that Cuban Girl? And today I have a really, really special interview with somebody who is an amazing actor, but he doesn't just act. He's a writer, producer, and well, he's also my co-star in the TV show Sangre Negra that is right now streaming on TUBI. His name is Antonio McKay. Hello, Antonio.
Hello, Cece. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here today. And I'm just really excited. You're welcome. I'm really excited to talk to you today about just different things. Obviously, first of all, tell everybody, who is Antonio? Where are you from?
How long you got? Okay, Antonio McKay, born in Chicago, Illinois, son of a Jamaican and a Colombian marriage. Went to school in both Jamaica and then the United States. Went to Columbia University, graduated with a degree in theater, and I came out here to make my fortune. And it's been a long haul, but we stuck to our guns, and eventually you make it.
Amen. No wonder you're so sassy, by the way. Jamaican and Colombian. I didn't know that.
Didn't know that? Oh, well,
no.
I know. Watch out.
So your journey in LA, Antonio, tell me a little bit about what that journey has been like. I don't really know how many years you've really been in California, but the stories are different for everybody, right? So tell everybody a little bit about it.
Well, I came out here, of course, like everybody else, wanting to be an actor, but one thing I did realize I couldn't do, I wasn't a waiter. I can't wait tables, okay? If you can't wait tables, you're like, I better get a job quickly. So I was actually lucky enough on my, I would say, third audition, I actually got a role. It was a co-starring role, and it got me my SAG card. It was in a sitcom called What's Happening Now. Not the original What's Happening. This was the reboot they did about 6 years later. And evidently I did something right, because they called me in after one audition and I got the role. It got me my SAG card and everything. So
that dream.
That was the big hit. Yeah, that was the dream. Like within 3 auditions, I was like, oh man, I'm ready to go.
And then, and your ego, your confidence goes up, right? You're like, oh, I got this.
Definitely goes up. Then after that, I auditioned for guest star part, and I got that too. And I'm like, oh shoot, this is easy. This acting thing is easy. To top it off, then I auditioned for a movie, the lead in the movie, and I got that. It wasn't a big budget movie, but still the fact that I got it. So I was basically rolling. My agents were happy, and I thought, I went out and I bought a car. Dumb, but I bought a car because I thought I was on my way.
How long ago was this?
Huh?
How long ago was this?
20-something years ago.
Oh, so you were a baby. That's why you went and bought a car.
Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't do it now, believe me. And then after that, it sort of went like this, and then things weren't happening, and I'm like, okay, my money is running out. What do I do now? And at that time, there was a lot of people were impersonating other stars and making money off of it. And to cut a long story short, I won a contest looking like Prince. Okay.
So, I can totally see it now.
back then I was really looked like him. So then I got a job. I started working in a place called Legends in Concert. There's a show in Vegas. And from there, I went on to different shows, and one thing led to another. Next thing you know, I was on the road all the time doing Prince, and eventually Michael Jackson. I learned to do both of them to make more money. And I made a pretty good living for a long time. And took me to Canada. And in Canada, I started acting again, this time under the actor. I got a TV series and stuff like that. So I was like, oh man, I'm back. I'm an actor again. I can chill now. But then, of course, again, yeah, right. Then my ego took me again. I said, I got to leave Canada and go back to the US now. I've done everything I could here. And came back to LA. And then the same thing happened again. It's that roller coaster ride, but you have to stick it out.
Yeah, but that's one of the things that people don't really understand about acting and the journey in LA, a lot of people think that coming out here to LA is going to be super easy. And I mean, it is for some people, some people just make it, but you have to stay on it. Like you said, it's a roller coaster, right?
Yep, most definitely. And you also have to realize that if you don't get something, it's not because you're not talented or because you even don't look right or anything like that. It could be a whole slew full of reasons. You could remind some guy of a guy who stole his wife. You never know what it is that turns off or turns on people. So that's what you've learned. That's the hardest thing to learn. Learn to accept rejection. Because they're not rejecting you. They're rejecting their idea of what the part is supposed to be. They just can't see you in that part. But that doesn't mean you did anything wrong. They just can't see what you have. So
yeah, I mean, it's never personal. I think it's happened to all of us in auditions or, same here. I've auditioned for things that I'm like, oh, this is amazing. I got this. I did so good. And I didn't book it. And then, just like I was telling Danny the other day in our interview with Sangre Negra, I was like, I did not book this thing at all. I walked out of there and I was like, there's no way I'm getting this part. And, so it happens like that all the time.
Yep, it does. Yeah, that was interesting. When you auditioned, it was funny because I watched your interview with Danny, and I remember you saying, well, you thought you were too tall and all that. And you were, to be honest with you. But that's because we're programmed to think a certain way, when we cast people and so, the girl's supposed to be shorter than the guy. But then that's not the way it is in real life. In real life, things happen where people who you wouldn't think would be together are together, and it doesn't follow a particular cookie cutter way. So all we had to do was see a little bit of chemistry between you and Angel, who's your leading man, and it works. So we said, well, so what? But a lot of casting people don't feel that way.
That's true. Well, thank you so much publicly for booking me for this part. I had an amazing experience. It was awesome to shoot it. It was actually one of my very first things that I did in LA as an actress. In a lead role and with actual lines and the whole thing. So thank you so much.
Well, you were good. You were very good.
Thank you.
And you're going to be surprised what we have next for you. Season 2, you're really going to be, you're going to be like, what? I'm doing this? But
should I be scared or excited?
A little bit of both, probably. Go to a shooting range. How about that?
I love it. I'm ready. Have you seen that I've been working out? I've been working out I'm super fit. Let's go.
Good, yeah. Hey, I told people that anything you want to do, you want to be, there's no reason why you can't do it. But somebody's doing it. People say, well, I can't do that. I say, why? Well, and they never can come up with a reason. And the main reason is they don't have the confidence in themselves that it's possible. Anything is possible.
Yeah, I agree with that. So talking a little bit about Sangre Negra, you are also the producer in Sangre Negra. So
yeah, one of them.
One of them.
We got a few, but
okay. So you're one of the producers. You're also one of the lead actors. No, you're the lead actor, actually.
Well, it didn't. Interestingly enough, I'll tell you a story. When we first started doing the show, it's basically three brothers were, the co-leads, obviously. So, and you never know, like Danny's character is the hero kind of guy. He's the good guy, right? And Ricardo's character is also somewhat of a good guy. He's just more of a mentoring kind of steady hand. And my character is the bad guy. So here's the secret about Hollywood. If somebody offers you a role, two roles, do you want to be the leading guy or leading girl, or you want to be the bad guy or bad girl? Pick the bad guy or pick the bad girl, because you get to do anything you want to do, and you get to get away with it. I can kill somebody, I can seduce somebody's wife, I can do anything, and it's okay. Because it's in the script and I can get away with it, or not. Sometimes I don't, but it's just, I find the bad guy. And also I was reading up on some actors, and a lot of these actors, you know what Kirk Douglas is, right? I know you're young, but you know what Kirk Douglas is? You know what Michael Douglas is, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Michael Douglas, his father was a famous movie star. Big, one of the biggest in the 50s or something like that. And he was a leading guy. He had a big dimple in his chin, and everybody, girls swooned over him and everything. But he never got taken seriously as an actor, as a quote actor. So what he did was he played a bad guy. I can't remember the name of the film, but he played a really bad guy, and he got the best reviews of his career. All of a sudden he got elevated and said, oh, this guy's a great actor, because he just went against type, and he also got to really get into doing bad things. He really got a hold of it. So then when Michael was going through the ranks, he had the same problem. He was looked at as a nice guy, he's a cute guy, the girls like him and stuff, but nothing really stuck. So then his dad told him, you need to play a bad guy. So then he played Gordon Gekko in Wall Street. This was a classic movie, won an Academy Award. Next thing you know, he had a string of playing those bad guys, Fatal Attraction, and I think it was Disclosure, and what was the other one? It was a Basic Instinct. He played all these bad guys, and then now Michael Douglas is looked upon as one of our best actors. But it was that bad guy role that changed everything.
Yeah, and I mean, some people have to try really hard to be bad, right? But going back to you, cheers, by the way. Cheers!
Yeah, happy International Women's Day. There you go.
Thank you. Going back to Sangre Negra a little bit, you play your character so well, Tony.
Thank you.
It's interesting because it's hard to like you or hate you. Like when I watch Sangre Negra, I'm like, I don't know what to think of this character. I mean, I love your acting. You were born to play this role, you just play it so well. You so naturally. You're just a natural, in all these scenes, whether you're partying or being the mafia or doing whatever, it's just amazing to watch you, and also to have you play in same episodes as Eric Estrada and Eric Roberts. You're right there. You guys are all so talented, and it was mesmerizing to watch you play Ricky Santos in Sangre Negra. And I just wanted to say that it's honestly, yours and Danny are definitely one of my favorite characters in the whole show.
Yeah, we're basically the yin and the yang of the show. I appreciate what you said. See, it's interesting when you're playing. Why's my dog making all the noise? She wasn't saying anything until you came on. The way she loves attention. Anyway, you play a character with you never play a bad guy as being bad. You play the bad guy as he's just doing what he or she comes natural to them, you know.
Mhm.
And the key is charm. If I, you know, basically you have to be able to charm the audience so that you can get away with things. And the audience is saying, I hate that guy, but I kind of like him, but I hate him, but I kind of like him. And that makes it interesting for the people. And I remember when I was a kid, my parents used to always watch Dallas, and they had a bad guy on there named JR, and JR got away with everything because he put a smile behind it, and he was charming, and he got away with the worst things. And I took that image that I saw when I was little and put it in this character and said, if I can be that kind of bad guy, then we're going to be successful. Because like I said, it's really the best kind of part because you can get away with everything. But if you put that charm on top of it, if you're able to seduce the audience into sort of like, I wonder if he's going to get away with it, and then go with you on that ride, then you've got him. Then you've got him.
I was honestly watching the episodes. I'm just sitting back and I'm just thinking, how the heck is Ricky Santos getting all these girls? You know, he's getting all these hot girls.
That's confidence and good writing. No, what happens is, again, it's confidence. You know, like I see these guys. I mean, I don't want to get political or anything, but you know, like what's going on with Governor Cuomo and stuff. And I'm like, one of the things that I never understood when guys try to talk to women, why they are so, you know, they put out these crazy lines or they become so aggressive, and that would scare most girls I know. The thing is, you just have to pretty much let, somebody told me this was, never chase a woman, you pursue a woman. And I always thought that was a cool quote because, yeah, you're chasing her, but you're also not hitting her over the head with it. You're making her meet you halfway. And if she likes you, she'll meet you halfway. If she doesn't like you, that's fine too. But so many guys get in trouble because they don't know how to basically engage, you know?
Yeah,
So
there's
I
gotta be a balance.
yeah, so I brought that kind of, again, attitude towards Ricky. So it's not so much like he seduces these girls. He sort of like pulls them in. And next thing you know, they're like, wait a minute, how did that happen? I'm sure I wasn't meant to, but you know, again, I've known a lot of guys like that. So also, you know,
Oh,
I
yeah,
had
so have I. Yeah, definitely.
and Ricky's the kind of guy that all your girlfriends say, oh, stay away from him, okay? He's bad for you and blah, blah, blah. And then the next thing you know, they're trying to get with him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you're like, the more they tell you not to, the more you want to. So it's basically that whole bad boy syndrome, as they call it.
So, you know, as an actor, what part of Tony is in Ricky, and what part of Ricky is in Tony?
That's a very good question. I have to think about that one. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna be immodest. You don't mind, okay? I would say the charm part. I think I'm charming, you know. So I put a lot of that in Ricky, and so that part sort of, you know, blends in, blurs the line. And confidence. That's another thing both of us share. We have a lot of confidence, and confidence is the key to anything. I think it's I don't care what you do, where you're going, you have a lot of confidence. You know, it's anybody who's successful, you always know. Now the confidence slips into arrogance sometime in some people, but you have to have also a little bit of arrogance to think that you can do certain things. If you don't have the arrogance to think you can do it, you'll never attempt it. Mm-hmm. So that's the same. Ricky is full of confidence, and he has no fear. That's where we differ. I have fear. I was supposed to jump out of a plane one time. Nope, couldn't do it. Sorry, I lost the part. I can't do it.
Oh, it was for a role?
Yeah, it was for a role. I can't. I said, you know, oh, okay, we protect you. I said, yeah, I can't do you know. But everything else, like I fell off a horse when I was like 13, and the guy said, "Get back on the horse as quickly as you can." And I didn't listen to him. But when I had the opportunity to ride another horse, I took it because I knew that if I didn't get back on, I would never would. So I did. So that's how you overcome that fear. So I'm going to jump out of a plane now. I said I'm going to get rid of my last fear. That's it.
You have to do it, Tony. You have to
Yeah,
do
you do.
it. No, but that's a really amazing point. Thank you for being so honest about that, because as actors, we have to bring a little bit of ourselves to our character, right? And that's, yeah, you have to. So it's real, you know. So there's a part of it that's believable. And I must say you play that very well, because you are very likable, and we feel that in the show. And if any of you guys are just logging in right now and joining us, we're talking to Antonio McKay, actor, writer, producer, currently on the TV show Sangre Negra on TUBI. And woo! So yeah, Tony. Thank you. So Tony, besides, you know, what you've already talked to me about, the fear, you know, that Ricky has no fear. What's your favorite, like, part of this character, playing him? What do you enjoy the most?
What I enjoy the most is not even so much the, you know, he's a mafioso, so of course he gets into a lot of interesting situation, killing and, you know, dealing and stuff like that. But my favorite part, actually, he's very mischievous also. You know, he's sort of like a Bugs Bunny cartoon, you know. He's always like trying different things, pulling pranks, because he sort of enjoys, especially making his enemies suffer, you know, not suffer physically, but suffer like mentally. Say, damn, this guy is doing, like the episode that I have when I set up my former fiance, who's now my brother's fiance. That whole setup was like, wow, who would think of this? Only Ricky would think of that. To get her back and to put her in a situation where she would come back to him because nobody else would understand what happened, you know. So stuff like that. I got a few other pranks that you're gonna find funny that he just pulls. So I like that part. I like the mischievousness of it. And also, again, it goes to the likability because he's kind of a scoundrel. One of my favorite words, scoundrel. It means someone who is mischievous and a prankster, but he also has that twinkle in the eye, you know.
Your character's just very careless. It's almost it's very you don't have to try. Ricky doesn't have to try to be anything. He just is. And he just doesn't care what his family thinks. I mean, Ricky has his whole family kind of freaking out about all these things that he does, you know. And it goes to show, and that's also one of my favorite parts. The lighting, yeah, it's better.
Yeah. Okay.
Can you turn it up a little more?
Yeah, I'm trying to. It's losing its battery.
It's okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love that. So what else, Ricky? So episode 4 of Sangre Negra is out on TUBI right now. Can you say when episode 5 and 6 are coming out or not yet?
Okay, here's a scoop. 5 and 6 will be out. There are some negotiations going on. I'm not at liberty to say exactly where, but it's a big network that has seen the show and is very impressed with what they've seen. So I would say within the next 2 weeks, we'll know whether the next episodes will go on TUBI or they'll be all taken and gone to a bigger network. That's all I can say. So they're going to be out, though. You're going to know that. But you may be able to tell all your friends that you're on such and such.
Awesome.
So keep your fingers crossed.
I know, right? Awesome.
And we're also negotiating to get financing for season 2. So
That's great news.
yep. So there you go.
There you go. You gave us the scoop, giving us the tea.
Give me the tea.
Give me the tea. We got it. Thank you, Tony. So what else is on the books for you, Tony?
Okay, oh my God, if I could get my dog to stop barking, that would help. Well, we've got again, season 2, starting on that. And then we have a film called The Count of Capistrano, which is a reimagining of the Zorro legend. I'm negotiating with some people for the rights to Zorro, and I'm working with somebody who's very, very, involved with it. And his name is Darrow. And Darrow has also written a script called The Eye of Ra. That's Eye of Ra. And Ra is, well, I won't tell you what it is, but I'm going to try and bring that to fruition also as a film or a miniseries.
Wasn't Ra an Egyptian god?
Exactly. There you go. Now you know.
I know.
Yes, you're scoring a lot of points. And it's sort of a romantic adventure. We don't see many of those anymore. Sort of like Indiana Jones and Romancing the Stone. It's just a lot of excitement and stuff. Cool. And then we also have a movie called Forbidden that we started. When I say we, I mean Frank Pinnock, who's the director, who's also my partner. And we started this movie called Forbidden years ago. And we came this close to getting it financed. And we did a trailer. We had it cast. We had some famous people in the cast and everything. And the last minute, the financing fell through. But the good thing is it convinced us to change direction. And that's how we started on Sangre Negra. So Frank and I started to develop Sangre Negra. And there you go. Now Sangre Negra is up. Now that that's up, now we have the latitude to go back and do Forbidden. So that's a murder mystery involving a rock and roll group. And
I love that.
Yeah, so there's going to be a lot of music again and a lot of mystery, a lot of,
I love that. And I think, now in the year 2021, this is a new way of do acting, to write, produce, create your own stuff and get it out there.
Got to. Oh, look at that. The bat, okay, yeah. Yeah, you've got to. Because let's face it, if you're not a name, you just become like every other actor out there. And so you're competing with basically everybody else,
Yeah.
So you have to find a way to make yourself jump into the ocean, with the sharks and everything. But you have to be able to jump in there, and you need something to put you there. And agents will send you out, and they'll have you do, here's this role. I got 5 lines here, or I get, if I'm lucky, I get a co-star role here. The point of the matter is, if you can show people what you can do as a lead and just have it out there, your chances are a lot better. So yes, right? If you want to be a superhero, write yourself a superhero, and then fight like hell to get the money to shoot it. Once you do that, then you're halfway there. It's the hardest part. I don't care what anybody says. The most difficult part of filmmaking is getting money. Guaranteed. True. Getting money is the hardest part. But once you found that, it's,
Is that why Sangre Negra came about? You and Frank, how did Sangre Negra happen?
Like I said, that was the day we were supposed to get the financing for this movie. We were at a coffee bean at the Grove. Those in California know where the Grove is, in LA. So we're at the Grove.
You're local.
Yeah, right. Yeah. we got the phone call that the money wasn't going to come through, and we were just angry. And at that time, they were shooting a lot of web series. So we decided, okay, well, let's do something. We got to do something. All right? We can't have all this energy and pent up creativity and not do anything. So he said, let's just write a web series. What the hell? You know, you never know. So then we said, what would you like to write? And I always said, well, you know, I used to, like I told you, I used to watch this TV show Dallas a long time ago with my parents every Friday, and I always remember that. I like a show like that. They had three brothers in there, you know, and one good one bad one, and one sort of in between. And I said, what's your favorite? And he said, I like The Sopranos. He said, oh yeah, you like the mafia stuff. So basically, that's how it came about. We decided to combine Dallas and The Sopranos, and then to add a spin on it, he said, but let's make it Latin. You know, I'm part Latin, so let's put the Latin part in there, you know? And then I'm part Black, so we have the Black Latino. So it's interesting. And we came up with Spanish, Sangre Negra, Black blood. Perfect. And that's how we
I
did.
love that. That's one of my favorite parts about the show too, that a big, you know, quantity of us are Latinos. You know, it's a huge Latino community show, and the show is in English, you know, but I just love that you guys named it in Spanish, and then we have, it's saucy, you know, it's really, it's got flavor, and it's got, it just showcases the Latino ability to act, you know, because a lot of times we're put in the soap opera category, right?
And the stereotypical Latin part, you know, we just decided we can play anything. There's nothing we can't play. You can play a doctor, you can play a lawyer, you can play a janitor, you can play a criminal, you can play a cop, you can play everything. So why not cast people in anything? You know, some people have said the cast is too like pretty, you know, it's too good looking. I said, why? But good looking people exist, and good looking people do these things. So why not put them on the screen? They say, well, it's not realistic. I say, well, it is realistic because I know people doing it. So how can you say it's not realistic? So again, you have to like not listen to the naysayers and just do something different. A lot of people want to follow what everybody else does because, oh, this worked, so everybody is going to do this now. Bridgerton is a big thing now. So now everybody's running around trying to do Elizabethan stuff, but it's not going to be the same because it's already been done. So you're better off finding something different, do what you want to do, what makes you happy, and if you enjoy it, the audience will enjoy it, and they'll buy it. That's what I believe anyway.
100%, I believe in that too. When you say, Tony, to, you know, all those people that are moving to LA and they want to pursue acting, and I mean, you've been in the industry for 20 plus years. So what's like your word of advice for everybody?
Okay, I always say this is probably not good to say, but I'll say it anyway. The first thing I tell you is look at everything, all your talents, everything you've ever wanted to do in your life. If you've ever wanted to be a doctor, if you ever wanted to be a lawyer, if you wanted to be a teacher, if you ever wanted to do anything else, do it. Okay? Because unless there is nothing else you would rather do, acting will eat you up. However, if that is your passion and if you can't see yourself doing anything else, go for it. Go for it. But put everything into it. Don't give up. That is the key. Don't give up. So many people, they're just there, right? Just there, but one disappointment comes. They say, you know what? I give up. I'm going back to, you know, Nebraska or wherever, and I'm going to go work for my dad. You know what I mean? A lot of people just stop when if they had just continued on a little bit longer, they would have made it. And sometimes it can take years. It really can. But there are a lot of actors who they didn't make it big until late. George Clooney did about 15 different pilots. Nobody cared about him. He couldn't buy a job till he was like, he got on ER and he was like almost 40 years old. And then all of a sudden it clicked. And then next thing you know, bam, bam, bam. You know, now he's a legend.
Yeah,
So
there's so
just
many stories like that too. What's his name? Oh my gosh, Liam.
Liam Neeson. Liam
Yes.
Neeson. Yep. I will find you. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
He became a big star in his late 50s. That was when, what was the name of that? Oh, what's the name of that shot? Somebody will tell us what the name of that show is, but they made three of them. Yeah, he became a huge star, and now he's still a huge star in his 60s. Yeah? I always thought somebody like Sean Connery, may he rest in peace, had one of the best careers I've ever seen. When he was young, he did James Bond, and in his middle years, he was doing Robin Hood and all these exciting things. And then even in his old age, he was doing the Untouchables and all these movies that he always kept this strong virile presence. And I always thought, wow, he's still a leading man. He's like 70 some years old, but he still was able to carry things because he was such a strong actor. And so it just goes to show, doesn't matter your age, doesn't matter your ethnicity, it doesn't matter gender, everything goes now.
What do you do to keep your head in the game every day?
Yeah,
no. I knew you were going to say that. I had
a No, I basically do a lot. I do meditation sometimes, not as much as Danny, but I do it at times.
I don't see Ricky Santos doing meditations. I cannot imagine Ricky doing that.
Yeah, Ricky wouldn't. Ricky said, "Oh, the hell with that." But I do a little bit of it. I do I like working out. My dog, when she's not barking like crazy, is a very calming influence. I don't take things very seriously. I don't mean to say I dissuade, but I just, things that bother me or used to bother me when I was younger, they don't bother me anymore. And I realize we're only on this earth for a small amount of time, so we better enjoy it. Last year, the pandemic proved that nothing's guaranteed. So when you complain, okay, you complain, but you're not helping anything. You're not feeling any better. If you're thinking negative, all it is just have yourself feeling bad. So I try to always think positive and, look at the fun things in life, have a sense of humor about things. That's all you can do. And that helps me stay level, so when I get a flat tire or I smash my finger in the door or, so a girl I really like gets married, or I don't know, whatever used to bum me out, stuff doesn't bum me out now. It's like, oh well, move on, So yeah. That's it.
You don't take it personal, right?
No. Like I said, in this business, you really can't take it personal. When you're like you'll probably find out, assuming the series gets as big as we hope it, you're going to have people hating on you. Definitely people are going to be hating on me and hating on people because that's what people do. Usually because it makes them feel better about themselves. So they like to criticize somebody else. So once you figure that out, it doesn't really bother you anymore. It's like, okay, everybody can't love you, so, at least you're paying attention to me. As long as you're paying attention to me, that's important. So
I mean, people say sometimes, and I've heard this before, bad publicity is still publicity, right? So you just can't take it personal. I mean, we signed up for this public life, right? I mean, we are choosing every day to put ourselves on camera, to audition, to act, to host, whatever, So I've always said this. If we have chosen this life, we cannot get upset when people are saying whatever they want to say about us. It's in our control how we react to those things, right?
Exactly. We can't, Yeah, but I know some people who it really gets to them, and they're like, "Well, you're in the wrong business because if you don't want that to happen, there's a bank. They're looking for people at Wells Fargo. Don't be an actor. Don't be an actor. Don't be a singer. Don't be anything in the business of. Don't be in politics. Don't be in anything that will put you out there because you will get criticized. It's part of the game. So,
Yeah.
one of the things I liked about you too, and I always look for in auditions is no fear. We talked about it before. You can't have any fear when you're in a part. You have to commit yourself to it 100%. And you can't think about, oh, well, I don't look right or I don't feel right or that's not what I would do or I'm uncomfortable. It's not you. You're the character. And the camera picks up when you're not committing. I can look at scenes I've been in when I realize I'm not totally committing. And I don't see it. I feel the ordinary person would just look at it like it's the same way, but I know I can see it in your eyes. You can see it in certain things. But when you commit 100% and you have no fear, so if you play somebody who's in love with somebody else, you have to really play like that you're in love with that person. Because if not, it's not going to read true. And yeah, once the camera cuts, then you're back with your significant other. But while that camera is on, while you're in that, you have to be locked in. And a lot of actors also, they fail at that too. You're lucky you have a boyfriend is he in the business also?
He's in the business. Yeah, he's an actor as well.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. So he gets it. He's not going to run around being jealous and telling you can't do this, you can't do that. And you can't do that to him either, because if you're young and attractive or just attractive, you are going to be put in those situations where you have to kiss somebody or who knows what you have to do with another actor because that's what the script calls for.
Yeah.
So when you say, well, I can't do that, then they're like, well, why are you an actor? Obviously you're not going to do anything that's going to be, raunchy or uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But, despite what people say, most directors and most producers and most movies and TV shows are not going to ask you to do anything ridiculous. They're just not, because they're getting too much trouble right now. And second of all, it really doesn't add anything to a story when it's like that.
And that's my thing too. I love this point because yes, I agree with acting, but whatever you do in the scene has to add for the character, to the character, right?
Yes.
Like and honestly speaking, it's kind of like, well, if you just want me to be topless, just because you want me to be topless, I'm not gonna do it,
Yeah, exactly.
That's me. But it's like, I understand what you mean, where like a lot of people, a lot of actors are in the business and they get really picky, like, oh, I'm not kissing this person. I am not this person's love interest. I mean, that's usually part of the character, part of what you have to do.
Exactly. Exactly. I know things I regret I did when I was younger. I've turned down like roles I didn't like. I can't do that. I don't want to, But again, you learn that I wasn't really committed. And when you're not really committed, I wouldn't have done a good job anyway.
Yeah.
And then I look at other people and I'm like, wow, like there was what was that movie? Remember Brokeback Mountain?
Yeah. Heath Ledger.
Okay, remember Heath Ledger and what's his name?
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Jake Gyllenhaal. Right, there you go. And those are two straight actors who did all these gay love scenes, And I was up for a gay role once and I turned it down. So I can't be kissing a guy, I can't do that. And then I realized later on as I got older, well, that was stupid of me because I'm playing a character. And that is the character, and you are supposed to commit to that. So if they offered to me now, I would probably do it, because you mature and you progress, you understand that you cannot bring your own, let me take that back. you do bring some, like we said, we always have to bring some of yourself to the scene, because if not, they could take anybody. You know, if everybody just did the words on the paper, that means one actor just as good as the other.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to bring some of yourself to it, but what you can't do is bring any sort of ideas that you previously had, and you're coming with a closed mind to things. And as you grow older and you have more experience and you're surrounded by people, and you've just done different things, that's why sometimes experiences are great. So now, you know, sure, just commit to it, and you
So
enjoy
in
it.
your
You enjoy
opinion,
it to do it.
so in your opinion, Tony,
Mhm.
where's the line between your values and what you stand for as a person and acting?
Well, you're asking me some tough questions.
Well,
Hey,
you're
another
bringing
day.
it up.
Yeah. Here's what I would say. Okay. Like I said before, there are certain things that you have to pretty much use your common sense and how you've been brought. And everybody has their own sense of morals. You know, I don't like to judge people on what they consider moral and what they don't. You know, everybody has their own sense. So when you're presented with a script and you look at the script and you say, "Wow, this is a great script," but there's this one part in there, I don't know if I want my mama to see it. I don't know if I feel comfortable saying this or doing this, or would people get the wrong impression of me? Then I think you have to confront yourself. Well, do I want to bend my moral line? Is this line really there because of morals, or is it there because of the way I've always thought my entire life? You know what I mean? And obviously, like I said, you can see some scripts where you're like, oh, this is trash. You know, the girl walks in and she has no top on. Why does she have no top on? Oh, she just didn't have a top on. I'm like, but there has to be a reason. Was she coming out of the shower? Was she?
Yeah.
They just, like you said, they throw it in there because they want some of that so they can sell the movie. That kind of thing, you can look at it and say, you know what, this is not going to be a good deal. You know, so that way your moral compass tells you the right thing. Another case is getting you have a love scene with somebody, and you know you do what they call simulated sex scenes. It's it's not real sex, despite what people think. It's just simulated, and it's very technical. You stop and you camera's right here in you, and it's very uncomfortable. It's not sexy at all. But anyway, it has to be convincing. So if it has to be convincing, if you have a bulletproof vest on, it's not going to work. So then a topless scene would make sense. Um, and there you still have to judge. Okay, will I feel so uncomfortable that I won't be able to do a good job? If you think that way, then yeah, it's better you don't do it. But again, remember, you're an actor, and actors have to do a lot of things they wouldn't want to do or they wouldn't usually do. That's why it's called acting. Yeah.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean Cece is the person that's doing it, but that character is doing it. There's two different things. Even though it blurs, sometimes I wake up in the morning and say, "Oh, Ricky's looking good today." but 9 times out of 10, you will be able to judge for. If you're a smart person, you've been brought up a certain way, it's pretty easy. I've found, especially like I said, now as I've gotten older, it's pretty easy to set my morals and my guiding.
Yeah, and I mean it's experience too. And I'm sorry to put you on the spot with such an intense question, but I just, I wanted to talk about this because it goes back to experience. Obviously if you're brand new in LA and anybody could tell you anything. You might fall into that, you know, but
Yeah, exactly.
as the time goes by and you learn about the industry, you learn really quickly to determine what is BS and what is real in the industry, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, as a woman, it's very important to be able to do this. Girls, if you're
Right.
watching, you know, you have to be
Mm-hmm.
very, very careful with the things that you say yes to, whether it's in modeling or acting,
Yep,
because
exactly.
there's a big difference with doing certain things for a real show, a real opportunity, a real acting
Mm-hmm.
and a great script, and doing something because you're meeting some sleazy director that wants you to do whatever. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So, yeah, no,
Here's
thank
the
you for
thing.
your honesty.
Never go to anybody's apartment to audition. If somebody says, "Hey, meet me at my apartment," well, just run away quickly. Okay.
Yeah.
There are certain things you just have just not done by legitimate people. You know. Um, hey, it. You're right. If you're not aware, if you're young and inexperienced, just have stars in your eyes, Hollywood can be very tricky.
Dangerous. Hmm.
Yeah, dangerous. I must say, because of everything that's been going on the past couple of years, um, a lot of it is being cleaned up. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Sometimes I think, it's like, oh my God, everything is me too. This, I'm like, it can be, but generally it has caused a positive effect in the industry.
Hmm.
So you got to applaud that. So
It is
that's
definitely changing. Yeah.
definitely changing. So, but like I said, like I said, you trust yourself, trust your instincts. Your instincts will tell you, this is not good. You
Hmm.
know. Now, sometimes you may want to go against your instincts, but that's also an instinct telling you to go against your instincts. So you have to
Yeah.
figure out which one to go with. It's complicated, but it's experiences, and I've known a lot of people who've made wrong choices and survived. Some people who didn't, unfortunately. But again, this is a very unusual profession that you've
Yeah.
picked.
Yeah.
So enjoy
Well,
the ride.
I have really, really loved talking to you, Tony. I'm
You too.
gonna give you the last word. I just don't want to make this longer than 1 hour, but
Okay. Has it been
just
an hour already? Oh, wow.
it's
You've been
been
impressed.
52 minutes, 52 minutes.
Oh, wow. Ooh, okay. Good for
I
us.
know.
Time flew. Time flew.
That's what happens when
Um,
you're having a great conversation, right? I've really
yeah,
enjoyed my time
exactly.
talking to you.
And I like the way you're doing this interview. You're doing it like I had the honor of meeting Mr. Larry King one time. May he rest in peace also. And I told him, I said, I just love the way you do your show. It's not, you know, that's why everybody's so comfortable. They don't feel like they're put on a spot because they're just having a conversation, and that is the best way to get stuff out of people. Just be your charming self and just have a conversation.
Thank you so much. That means a lot. I really, really enjoy doing this. I just love people. I love sitting down with people and talk. Well, you know me, I'm super social. I talk to everybody, you know. Um, and I just love having conversations with people. So, and I have tons of friends, well, you know, in the industry and that do
Mhm.
different things. And I'm like, why not just sit down with them and get some knowledge out of them and just share it with people, you know?
Right. I agree. I agree. What made you start doing that? Your boyfriend just told you, suggested it to you, or you just said,
No,
"Hey,
no,
I'm
so when during the pandemic, I was doing live video. So, and really
Mhm.
how it started was I started my own business with a beauty and wellness company over the pandemic. And,
Mhm.
to promote the products and to share the products, I started doing a lot of live videos with the girls that are my business partners. And then I started doing, I forgot whose live interview I did, but it wasn't about the business. It was I think about acting or about something else. And I started
Mhm.
doing couple of live interviews just on my Instagram. Um,
Mhm.
and then I did Danny's, and then right before I did Danny's interview, I was like, I really want to do this more often, as like a weekly thing in my platform.
Mhm.
But then my boyfriend just advised me that I should probably just stream it on YouTube, just because it's a bigger platform, and I don't know. I think it'll be fun to have a series on YouTube where literally anybody can find it.
Yeah, exactly. It's great. You're great. You're a natural at it.
Thank
But
you.
don't stop acting though. Don't give up the acting because you're very good.
Thank you. No, I love acting. I love acting, but if I'm honest with you, I have
Mhm.
lost a little bit of the grind, of the hustle, only for acting. And the reason for
Yeah,
that is because I love acting. I really do love being on set, but I also love other things like this that
right.
I'm doing. If somebody came up to me tomorrow and said to me, "Hey, would you host a show, a talk show?" I would be like,
Mhm.
"Yes." Like I love doing
Mhm.
this. And I just love interacting with people. I love also, sharing wellness with people. And so I need to
Mhm.
do other things besides the acting.
Good.
Do you know what I mean?
Very true. Very true. As long, but you're still in the business, so you're still in the business of presenting yourself. So it's very close. A lot of actor hosts are very successful. You know,
Yeah.
so
Thank
good for
you.
you. The more arrows you have in your quiver, the better. Make you survive this business. So,
Yes. Thank you, Tony. Oh my gosh, we have the chat. Okay, hold
oh,
on.
goodness.
Brett says hello. Hello, Brett.
What's up, Brett?
Yes, Cecily, you're a great host. Thank you. Danny, yo, Sangre Negra peeps. Hi, Danny.
What's up, Danny? ¿Cómo estás, man? Danny and I have another interview tomorrow, but it's on radio, I think.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. You gotta let me know where so we can tune in.
Okay, definitely. Yeah,
Awesome.
we've been doing a lot of publicity now because of the show. So
I
it's
love
another
it.
thing we learned. The show can be great, but if nobody knows where it is or what, it doesn't matter. So you
Yeah.
got to publicize. Another thing people don't realize when they're doing independent productions, they're just interested in filming it, and they never quite. They wonder, well, what happened? I said, because you didn't take care of the whole business part of show business. You know.
There's a lot that goes into it, branding and investing and
Mhm.
distribution. And, people think that making a film or a TV show, it's easy if you have money. And there's like, even if you have money, there's so many other steps, right?
Right, of course, yeah, and get a good team with you. And if you get if you could enjoy the people you're working with, that's a bonus. That's
Yep.
a yeah,
Well,
that helps you.
I had a great time working with you. We didn't shoot together, but we were in the same, not acting together, but we're in the same,
In the
shooting the
same
same
team, yeah,
day.
yeah.
Yeah, so that was really cool.
Well, yeah. Next season we got a scene together. It's pretty intense. So because
I'm
you don't like me
scared.
yet.
Cause wait, what did you say?
I say you don't like me yet in the show.
I don't know. Lourdes does not like Ricky.
She does not like Ricky. She doesn't understand how she can be involved with somebody who's involved with him.
Mm-hmm. Yep. But
Never
but
underestimate what I can do.
that's true. I just hope that she becomes a little bit of a badass.
Well, yeah, she might be forced to. That's the thing. So, yeah, so stay tuned. It'll be interesting.
Awesome.
I'm always looking for ways to surprise the audience, you know, so you give people, they think they figured it out. Next thing you know, like, oh, wow, I didn't see that coming. That makes it fun to watch. So,
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
mhm.
Tony, you've been amazing. Thank you so much for accepting my invitation, for giving me your time. I've really enjoyed sitting down and talking to you. Thank you for all the advice and the words of wisdom. And everybody who has tuned in, thank you so much, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. Thank you for watching this. This is going to stay recorded in all of my platforms. And I'm going to try, it's the first time I use this, so I'm going to try to download it and give it to you, Tony, as well.
Okay, great.
Yeah. But everybody, please go to TUBI. TUBI is free. You can download it for free and look for our show, Sangre Negra, Black Blood in Spanish, Sangre Negra. and watch us. The show is
Yes,
amazing.
the first 4 episodes are up, and stay tuned for the big news.
Stay tuned. Okay,
Stay
thank you,
tuned.
Tony. Have a great night, love.
All right, adios, Sissy. Bye.
Bye.